Greetings, everyone. Tonight is November 8th, 2025 on this Gregorian calendar. How y'all doing tonight? Or how y'all doing wherever you are in the world? Because in some parts, well, in the eastern part of the world, so we're told, it's already November the 9th. So wherever you are in the world, give yourselves a hug and a kiss. So I give myself a hug and a kiss. Share it out to everybody. Share some out to me. And share some out to our planet. All right, here we go again, y'all. I got my laptop before me. That means it is analyzation time. uh, this has been sitting in my laptop for a while because the source of the universe said, how you been feeling these days? Have you been feeling like putting out videos? The source said to me, and I said, well, not really, because I've been dealing with the ebbs and the flow of the planet, of the energies. And then most of y'all who know what ebb and flow is, that's ups and downs in life, the waves of life. Picture it. A pregnant woman who's in labor. She's in labor and delivery, and they hook her up to these monitors, right? One reason being is to monitor the frequency of the contractions. So if anyone has been in any labor and delivery room with their mom or with their spouse, girlfriend, significant other, or just in there to support a woman who's having a baby, you get to see, the monitor, how the waves, it's like little lines that go up and down like little hills, like little, starting from a little hill and then climbs up like to a mountain. It keeps going up and down, up and down. The higher they go and the closer they get together, the closer a baby is to be birthed on earth. And so that's how we are. We are in birthing phases to me. We always in highs and lows, So sometimes we may have a lot of energy, a lot of ideas to put out social media and share with each other, or just, even if you're not on social media, just to share with people around you. And there are other times where you just want to withdraw and you don't even want to deal with anything, anyone. You just want to sit and reflect. Well, that's the stage I've been in. Reflecting stage, and reflection is good because and right now I guess it's more so it withstands the reason because we are in another a Mercury retrograde, and that's always a time of introspection for those of us who are into astrology and studying the planets. Okay, I'm not an in-depth studier at all, but I enjoy having some kind of insight on the surrounding energies, okay, that affect us. You don't have to trust it or not. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you, and that's fine. Just say. So I said, you know what? I haven't uploaded a video yet, but I just did one. And I don't know when it's gonna go out. That's just the phase I'm in right now. Okay, reflective. When I get the energy to muster one up, I'll muster one up. Here go two coming out right now. As I said, I don't know what's gonna come out because this has been sitting. I have a couple of things sitting in my laptop. A couple of subjects that I have not put up yet. And sometimes, when y'all get ideas come to you, and they just in your head, and you gotta get to them before they leave, because a lot of ideas don't stay with us. They come to visit us, and we look at it, and it says, you know what, you better capture it while you can, because there's some good stuff right here. And when I leave, you can't get me back. So let's know the energy is always moving. It's always moving. So you know what? And it stays when it wants to, and it leaves when it wants to. And so right now, we're going to talk about, again, yeah, my favorite subject. We're going to talk about relationships. Because we relate. We relate to ourselves, or at least we should. We should relate to ourselves, uh, our relatives, offspring, uh, co-workers, spouses, significant others, situationships, all kind of ships I say we be relating to. So this one here is just another thought of mine, and I would love for y'all to to engage with me. Uh, and before that, I'd like to thank. I gained some more supporters on uh, YouTube as well as TikTok. But YouTube has been my first baby since 2020, and uh, I am so grateful for the supporters that I have. I have 87 supporters, and to me that's a lot. And for me that's a lot because I don't have to have any. I can still have a zero, and I can have one. And to me that's a big support because I inspired one person. And so to me, I appreciate any inspiration that y'all are getting from me, because everything that's coming through me is coming through source, spirit, energy, whatever you want to call it, and we just share it. So if my idea sounds like somebody else's, I didn't get it from anybody else, but I know we influence the energies. We pick up the same time. I put a video about that out about that long time ago, that there are some of us who pick up the same energy at the same time. However, we don't all put it out at the same time, and people think that you're taking their ideas. Well, you're not. They come to us at the same time, and whoever puts it out first, you know, it's just in the universe. It's gonna whoever picks it up is gonna insure it out. Okay, but it lets you know also that they don't belong to us. Any ideas don't belong to us anyway. We don't own anything, and we should be more like the universe because it's abundant. The source is abundant. It's shared. It's not stingy. We physical spirit being, we the stingy ones. We want to be the greedy hogs. We want to be the first ones to do this and the first ones to do that. And to me, it should be not a competition. It should be a inspirational, an aspirational thing. I want to be inspired, as I said before, and I want to inspire, and I want to be aspiring to learn more. Because none of us, all knowledge is not our hand. Not all knowledge is not at our hands right at the moment. It's not. It may be in us, but it's not yet to be manifested or expressed yet. Just saying. So that's just how I see things. Put in the comments how you see them, and ain't none of us gonna be wrong because it's abundant, right? So everything is out here. Everything, all ideas is out here. All right. Now this one is called okay. This one is, the title of this one is A Man is Like a Bee. And this is not a original title or thought of mine. This title anyway. This title came from some older lady who's now deceased, and my uncle who was dating her at the time, he was younger than her. He's now also deceased. And we were when I was visiting back east, when I was living back east, and I also went to visit my mom, who was living in Baltimore at the time. She's now deceased. I got into a conversation with this older woman, and she was saying that men are like bees. Like, She said they go from flower to flower to flower. And I never forgot that. I'll let y'all know, anything that I hear just profound to me, that hits me, it hits me in the spot and like it resounds with me, I keep it because it makes sense. Now we know all men out here like no bees. Now we ain't saying all of them like bees, okay? Because there are some faithful bees, faithful men out here. They ain't all bees, okay? We saying it, but this is okay. This is a, like I said, it's just an observation, and it's also questions that I have with this title. Not that title, but let y'all hear this. Okay, is it truly a fear or rejection, or a fear of losing one's choices when a man says they don't approach women for fear of being rejected? So I'm like, where did that come from? I mean, we hear so many cliches and so many things that we hear. We're like, where are these things coming from? Who? And then we all just, as I said, we all just, a lot of us, not everybody, but a lot of us just follow behind and just receive it. Don't do no homework on it. We just follow. Just follow the leader. Whoever the leader is. Nobody knows. But everybody just following what everybody say. Okay? And like we know it ain't everybody, it's just metaphorically speaking. It ain't everybody. So, for so many years, I used to hear reasons why a lot of men were afraid to approach women. The number one reason being the fear of rejection. However, I pose, okay, to explore different possible reasons. And ain't none of this might be deep, but we gonna explore it anyway. So now what I have in one of my subtitles is, what is the motivation to not approach a woman? Okay, why a man wouldn't approach a woman. So I have under that subtitle, another subtitle is insecurities. So you may ask, well, what may some of these insecurities be? Okay, I'm glad you asked. Now here comes my first bullet. If a man, I would ask the man, have you ever been rejected before? And if so, how many times? Because to me, that depends on, your reason for saying, you don't like to approach a woman. Now, if you just say you approached someone one time and she rejected you and you never went back again, you need some more practice. Okay? And you need to find out what that fear is, why that is. Okay? But if you've been rejected multiple times, like say you've been rejected like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, that's a lot. Now I can see why you may create this fear, because now that's a pattern that you're seeing that has been created, that you've been rejected. And you need to also go ask, why am I being rejected? Or ask if the woman, what are their reasons why they're rejecting you? Okay? The next bullet I have is the feeling of not being enough, which is kind of like a segue off the first bullet. The feeling of not being enough. And why would you feel like you're enough? What is it about you that makes you feel like you're not enough? Now that's another cliche everyone's going on today. I am enough. Women say I am enough. Enough of what? Yeah, we gonna go there. Just keep it a little light. Keep it a little light. Don't come at me. So yeah, the feeling of not being enough, and like where are those feelings coming from? And the next bullet, I have it in red, which is unhealthy stereotypes and fear of losing oneself and one's freedom, which is under the main title, what is the motivation to not approach a woman? Okay? So, to me, that's a big one. Unhealthy stereotypes and fear of losing oneself and one's freedom. All right, now that's the negatives. There may be more here. If y'all got more, let me put them down. We can talk about it. We can discuss. So now, the other side of this is, what is the motivation to approach women? All right, the first bullet I have is physical attraction. Okay, not too hard there, right? And everyone knows the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everyone's not gonna be attracted to everybody, even if you think the woman is most, or the man is the most beautifulest or handsomest man in the world. Somebody ain't gonna be attracted to him. Y'all say, why not? Because that's just how it is, and it's a good thing. Cause that if everyone was after one person, everybody's be left behind. Anyway, so the next bullet is curiosity. Of course, a man's gonna approach a woman because of curiosity. What's she about? She's looking good. What's she about over there? Let me go. I'll holler at her. The next bullet is, now the title is still, what is the motivation to approach? The next one is freedom to experience many women. Hence the title, Many Men Are Like Bees. Okay? Go from flower to flower to flower. All right? The next bullet is readiness to pursue an honest and maybe committed relationship through courting. Okay? And the next one is the man is secure and mature in themselves. And okay, that's the next one. So if the topic is the fear of rejection, okay, I'm just gonna say the last one. The last bullet is manipulation tactics. Okay. So yeah, manipulation tactics. Let me read what's below that. Let's say a woman. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say a woman gives a man a chance and she doesn't reject him. After dating for a while, she starts to feel him. Now he says, "I don't want anything serious." You see, she didn't reject him. She received him. Okay, and now he says he don't want anything serious. So the question is, now if the fear was really of him being rejected, why now is he rejecting her? See? So I think that that's a good question there. And to me, is it a fear of rejection, really? Or is it a fear that you're going to lose your freedom, which is a stereotype, unhealthy stereotypes, and fear of losing oneself and one's freedom? Or is it a manipulation tactic, the fear of saying, you know what, I can't get my way. I can't manipulate and do what I want to do. So is that the fear really? Is it the fear of rejection, or the fear is I can't do what I want to do? I don't want to be committed. I think that's an interesting and fair question. Because today we have, today we have so many people that are out here and we have a trend of women who are choosing to just remain single because of the so many relationships that they were in that they got used and abused and were manipulated, you know, after giving many men chances. The ones who are saying, "Oh, I got a fear of being rejected." We specifically talking about those ones, because we know that men, the ones who are secure themselves, they're gonna manipulate anyway. The ones who secure themselves, they gonna be out here being these bees, going from flower to flower to flower. Okay, don't really have no standards. Um, just don't really have any standards as to, you know, they like most of the flowers. So yeah, so this is like short and sweet. So is the fear really of being rejected, or is the fear really being losing one's freedom and free of fear of commitment? So yeah, that I just came on here just to, yeah, I think that's a very important topic to talk about, because I think if so many men were being rejected, then so many women wouldn't be hurt and wouldn't want to just opt out of just being with a man, period, these days, and just opting to take time out for themselves. Now for me, that's something that I've done. I don't date a lot anyway. Matter of fact, I don't think I've been on a date. I was married for a long time. Married for a long time, and at a very young age. And Yeah. So the next relationship I got in, it was like 10 plus years, and I've been single ever since. I mean, after I left that relationship, um, I've been single because I took some time out for me, for myself, uh, self discovery, more self discoveries, and I'm glad that I did. Um, I'm glad that I did, and yeah, it's just good to do. To We're always talking about learning about other people and loving yourselves, and stuff like that. But before you can love yourself, know what you need to do? Learn who you are. We need to learn who we are first, because we always talking about learning the other person. We need to learn about the other person, what they like, what they don't like. Um, but we really don't focus a lot on learning who we are. Because before you can get to loving who you are, you need to learn who you are. And that's going to take this whole life cycle. But as you do, and you put the work in yourself, of course, you're going to have a lot of breakthroughs with yourself. And it's always going to it's an ongoing journey. Um, and if you want to take some time out and say, pause on men, that's your right. And if you feel like you're ready to get back in, that's also your right. So we're going to be tested. And I know we use that word very loosely. But life is going to throw some stuff at us to see, okay, let's see how well you know yourself. And the only way we can know ourselves is to go through these obstacle courses. That's the only way we're going to know ourselves. Because we can say all we want to. I know myself. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm not going to do. I always say, just say that until it comes knocking at your door. Until the circumstance prevents it. I mean, until the circumstance shows up, okay, to see what you're gonna do, it's best not to say what you're gonna do. I've seen a lot of people in life say, um, puff their chest out and say what they was gonna do and what they wasn't gonna do if it was them. And as soon as that thing came knocking at the door, that circumstance came knocking at the door, they lost. Very thing they said they wasn't gonna do, they did. And as I've said in many videos, I learned this as a teenager. Never say never. Because when I thought that I knew myself very well as a teenager, and I said I was never gonna do something, I was adamant to it. I ain't ever gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. Sure, I ain't gonna do that. Hmm. I ain't gonna. I ain't gonna do it. Life say what? The universe say what? What she say? Source say what she say? We got one of them. We got one of them. They sure themselves. Okay. All right. Knock knock knock. I failed. And so from a teenager, that never word, I do my best not to put that in my vocabulary, not to use that in my vocabulary. Okay? From a very young age. And when I see people so adamant and saying I would never, I thought, they done said never. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They don't know what's coming. They don't know what's coming. So, just out for me, I'm very careful with using the word never. So, I know I done said a lot, y'all. And if I inspired somebody, you got something out of this, I appreciate you. And please inspire me also. I mean, even though I have a very small, I have a, my channel isn't as big as others. Put it like that. My platform isn't as big as others. Y'all know people people are inspired by me. I see them use, I see them use, I see the inspiration. They be sharing the inspiration. I see them sharing it. Okay? So, I appreciate them sharing, I appreciate them coming and watching me and sharing out some of the stuff that I've said. I appreciate them sharing it back out. And you know what? I don't mind. I would have used to have gotten angry before, like, hey, I ain't getting no credit for that. They took my stuff verbatim, and I ain't getting no credit. But you know what? I said to myself, if you say that you're truly here to inspire, even if somebody use your stuff verbatim, that shouldn't bother you. So I had to give myself another reflective check. Okay, am I here for fame? I wanna live forever. Or to truly inspire people so that we can inspire together. We can support each other together. So and like I said, it shows me. That's why I keep saying, you go through the ebbs and flows, go through the reflective things about yourself, the learnings of yourself. What you say when you see it come back out, that's like a knocking at the door. It's like never. It's not like never, but it's like, that's mine. No, it don't belong to you. It belongs to everybody. It just came through you. It just came through you. And I learned that from somebody too. They said it's not yours. It comes to us, but it's not yours, and you don't own it. Knowledge, information, you don't own it. Even though we could sign some paper, whatever, saying whatever, you got rights, whatever. But no, information when it flows through spirit source, you don't own it. So, and I'm not here to lecture none of y'all. I'm not here to lecture. I'm just inspired to speak right now. So, yeah, it's a lesson I had to learn, and because I didn't want to feel hurt for the wrong reason, and I was feeling hurt for the wrong reason because I feel like, hold on, that's mine. No, you said you want to inspire. Well, you didn't inspire some folk. You inspired a pretty good amount of folk, and people wouldn't think so because this big, your numbers are small, so they can come in there and look at your stuff and be inspired by it, and you think that who would know that I was looking over there. But it's okay. I appreciate y'all for being inspired by me and for sharing the knowledge back out, the information back out. I really do. And thank y'all for letting me see myself through y'all. And as for the topic tonight, a man saying that they're rejected, they don't like approaching women because they are fear that the fear of being rejected. Please give me some comments on it and tell me what y'all think. All right. With that said, thanks for keeping me company, and let me close up my laptop. I'll see you next video.